Hey, peace and blessings, everybody. This is your brother Sorry back with another one. I mean, peace to true and living. Um, Back on this Saturday afternoon. So this we're back with the 15, excuse me, the 48 laws of power. We're on law number 15. So this one, I'll kind of get into it. This one is entitled, and these are out of Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power. It's entitled Crush Your Enemy Totally. Okay, so we're going to contrast this teaching to a teaching out of True Master. Um, don't come out unless you're forced out. Okay, so don't come out unless you're forced out. So that's a teaching out of True Master. So this section is more as it pertains to trying to accomplish a goal in True Master. That's a more universal application of this, crush your enemy totally or whatever case may be. In the Robert Greene sense of what he's talking about, if you leave one ember smoldering, it will reignite. So back in the day, you know what I mean, like, I don't know, Roman legionnaire times or whatever case may be, when they conquered another village or something like that, uh, they would kill all the men and the male children or whatever, because the male child would grow up and become a knight and try to avenge all the people that were killed in his village and all that stuff like that. So that was the idea behind it or whatever case may be. Similar to the movie, if y'all ever watched the movie Conan the Barbarian with James Earl Jones as Tulsa Doom, and he doing the riddle of steel and everything like that. He crucified him on the tree of woe and everything he said, man. You know what I'm saying? He come back and he meet up with Tulsa Doom in the end. And he see how strong Conan became. He said, man, I gave you purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? So I gave you purpose. This is what he's talking about. The embers smoldering and them reigniting again. Conan got big and strong and said, I'm finna mess this dude up. He destroyed my family. I'm gonna mess this dude up. Same thing, those old kung fu movies or whatever case may be. Cat might be sitting out eating dinner with his family or whatever, getting it in with his chopsticks or whatever case may be. Somebody kicking in the door and start throwing, you know what I'm saying, plates and everything like that. Hey man, you dishonored my teacher, man. I've been training to kill you for the last 20 years, man. That's the same thing here. The embers are still smoldering. He still came back. Somebody came back. It's numerous examples I can use. The movie Kill Bill, Benita Green's daughter, Vanessa, Vivica Fox character. Her, when she dies, her little daughter sees her die. She say, hey, the lady tells her, hey man, if you ever, whenever you feel like you're ready, you know. So we're gonna get into some of that. Um, let's see here. We're gonna get into a teaching out of TM. It goes into let's see, two teachings actually. Take ownership of position and don't come out unless you are forced out. So these are two teachings out of TM. So let's correspond this with this crushing enemies totally, as far as the 48 laws of power. Okay, so this is a section out of TM. This is going to be page 130. Anybody got the book? Um, this is take ownership of position. Now, this is going to be relevant as well, because in a subsequent video after this, we're going to kind of tap back into this. But for now, okay, talking about crushing your enemies totally and all that stuff like that. So this is the TM correspondence to that. Okay, so take ownership of position. A position is like the terms of a contract, right? Taking ownership of a position is difficult. Excuse me, is different from just physically occupying or existing in a physical position. Taking ownership will entail a level of presence. Presence is the beginning of structure. Structure is the beginning of position, fueled by your intent, which is fueled by some motivating factor. Merely occupying the position is surface. Ownership of a position is being in a good position, knowing you are in a good position, and applying a reasonable amount of pressure to maintain that position. To be taken out of the position, you will have to be moved by a substantial force. See, that's the part of being forced out, or whatever case may be. Ownership of a position within the confines of personal structural stability, a part of your baseline energy. So basically, the homeostasis of your structure. You see what I'm saying? Or the general state, the baseline energy, because you can't tell if something's too high or too low unless you're starting off from some level of baseline. Okay, this allows for you to sensitize incoming stimulus. This is a level of awareness to know what position you are in, as well as creating the advantage of taking the most superior part in a given position. So that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to take ownership of a particular position, the best part of that position, the most superior stance, the highest leverage point. You going for it. How we talk about jumping to conclusions, but you're taking ownership of it, not just the physical um, position or whatever, but everything about it. Let's see here. Let me see here. Every position has sub positions, degrees of frequency, like how we talking about fractals, all of which are not created equal. Always assume the highest sub position that affords you the most leverage. When you slow down time, the sub positions are made visible, right? When you slow down time, what's that? When you slow down time, the sub positions are visible. You see what I'm saying? All the sub positions are visible when you slow down time. So once I slow down time and I can see the sub positions or the visibility of the sub positions, I no longer gotta slow down time no more. I can just do them. They become a thing now. You see what I'm saying? So this happens no matter what it is you do. I don't care if you cooking fries at McDonald's. If you cook fries long enough at McDonald's, you're gonna figure out some nuance. A 5 year fry cook, no matter how crazy it sounds or whatever, I know I'm using a super crude example. A 5 year fry cook should know something that a 6 month fry cook don't know, because he should have paid attention to some level of the nuances of his job or of his station or something or whatever it is that that person does. You see what I mean? Okay, so let's see here. When you slow down time, the sub positions are made visible. Once they are understood, when the pattern repeats, you have no need to slow down time to change it. You can instead speed up time to go directly to the strongest sub position, within the established position, like training the same movement over and over, slowing it down, the perfect subtle nuances within the motion. To perfect the subtle nuances within the motion, being mindful of change frame by frame. These frames would be equivalent to the sub positions. A pattern is nothing more than a series of static positions. In the language of the experiential, what is being called subpositions is referred to as fractals of a pattern. Sections of the circle, similar to how we described lines earlier. So that's talking about taking ownership of a position, um, observing the position, and knowing what is the strongest sub position in it, or whatever case may be. You see what I'm saying? Whereas the other person just has a surface understanding of it. You know the strongest position, how to attack it the best. You taking ownership of that um, particular position. Okay, so don't come out unless you are forced out. Don't come out unless they force you out, or don't come out until the energy or the language of situations suggests that you come out, right? Um, let's see here. Shorter ranges demand more control, right? So when you're in a closer proximity, what he's saying is when you're in a closer proximity to your goal, um, it demands more control to be in a closer proximity of your goal. Um, Let me see here. In order to do like how we were talking about rapport in a previous video, in order for me to put somebody under hypnosis, I have to build rapport first. You see what I'm saying? Once I build rapport, the closer I am to the effect I'm looking for. My conditions, once the closer I am to the goal, the more the conditions that I've worked and created support me and everything like that. So I should, in theory, have less work to do in order to reach the goal. Let's see here. Uh, in the equivalent of being in, excuse me, shorter ranges demand more control. Being in what is referred to here as shorter ranges is the equivalent of being in the relationship. being inside of the relationship. Heavier, more well-established balance points. You're invested more. You're committed more. The closer you are, these shorter ranges are what I'm trying to say in the book. Um, in shorter ranges, you seek control over the outcome. Range meaning proximity to goal. Fight behind the balance points or whatever case may be. Fight behind the established um, I don't know, markers of progress. I would try to induce hypnosis from behind my rapport that I built. You see what I'm saying? That's a benchmark in my whole process of doing that, if that makes any sense. Okay, the structure here is at its strongest to maximize the pressure. Balance points maintained as so to finish strong and not to be blindsided by anything at the last moment that would undermine your success from a lack of resources. With the fencer's lunge, sometimes you may have to go from a loose structure to a tighter, stronger, more technically sound one, navigating the path in a shorter time. The goal is to go in and stay in. This is to win or lose range. Gaining position is the battle. Maintaining position is another concept, and advancing position is another concept altogether. You are too committed to retreat. There is a forced focus on your goal. Responses happen quicker here. So, okay, so in TM, um, let me see how I can really put it. TM is designed for the idea is that um the struggle to gain position, that's the fight. You see what I'm saying? Once you're in the position that you're actually trying to get to, or whatever case may be, the fight is actually over, or whatever case may be. Now, this would be the opportunity what Robert Greene would be talking about to crush your enemy completely, or whatever case may be. In True Master, that would just be assumed because there's no space for you to come out. There's no space for you to reset. There's no space for you to do nothing. Your whole objective, your whole goal is to get in a particular position where you can exercise your will at will, or whatever case may be. And once you get in that position, you have maximum control so that you exercising your will is effortless, or whatever. You set up some sort of structure to facilitate you exercising your will over and over and over again. There is no place to come out or reset. That's the mindset of like with True Master. You're not just trying to hit it one time. You're trying to build a fortress around it so you can hit it at will. You see what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. So that's the 15th law of power, man. I hope that made sense. Just kind of did a couple of little snippets out of that TM, but like what you've been hearing, like and subscribe. We're just trying to move through some of these laws of power, man. Appreciate you checking me out. Peace and blessings.